I really fucking love snacks.
Yeah, I do. Oh my God. Welcome to Snack Time with Lindsay Adams. I don't know if you know this, but I made my own intro song. Guys, we have Julia Loken, Obvi, over here. She, her. Um, I literally went on a podcast the other day and she was like, I'm a Jew. She's so great, by the way. And I was like, you don't look like one. And then I was like, why do I say stuff that's recorded like that?
That's true.
Like, it's recorded. Like, what are we?
I mean, I think it's better that you are Jewish and you said that instead of it being like
Yeah, absolutely.
accusatory, or like
Yeah.
the other way around. I feel like people tell me I look Jewish and they
'Cause you
don't
do.
mean it. I do. I'm not Jewish, but whenever they say it, I'm like I don't think you mean that as a compliment. And I
Uh,
don't think you can say that.
I mean it
Like
excuse me. I mean it as a compliment. Do I need to get a real microphone? Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes. I'm like,
Although I
yeah,
do love this, like, I like the cover on it. It's very it's like a Muppet.
I like actually I don't even think about how it looks. I'm just like, is this effective?
Yes.
You look profesh. That's because you have an incredible podcast. What's your sign? If you've never listened to it, you should. It's very fucking good. You guys are so fun. It's astrology. Also, isn't there something funky going on with astrology right now? Isn't there like a thing happening?
We're gonna have a new moon on Sunday. We're not really. We're in kind of a right now. It's fairly chill. There's always something going on.
You look so
But
hot. I just
oh
like
my god,
can't.
stop!
I like really can't. I had to interrupt you because what you said was boring in comparison to how hot you were.
Just look at me. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Just stare at my face. That's fine. That's all I've ever wanted. I would love to not have to talk. That
I agree, but I am sorry I interrupted you. It's a
no, you're
new
fine.
moon, so we have to like do stuff with it.
We have a new moon in Aries that's happening on Sunday. So we have a lot of kind of like active energy right now, which is hard because
Sure.
we're still only, at least in California, we're pretty close to opening up, but like it's hard when there's these more active energies happening during a pandemic. But there isn't anything, we're not going to have a retrograde until Gemini season.
Fucking
But
Geminis.
we are still feeling, I mean, if we're going to get very technical, we are going to be feeling the kind of like effects of the Saturn Uranus square, which is a thematic thing that we're kind of having all year, that we're seeing really about structures up for reevaluation
Is that
and
how you
being,
say Uranus? Uranus?
yeah.
Shut the
I say all the different ways. Uranus, some people say
Uranus.
Uranus.
That sounds
It
like
feels when
someone
you
who wears
say
natural deodorant calls it
yes,
Uranus.
it also feels like the way that someone says, like, Ralph Lauren, and it's
Yeah,
like, "It's Lauren, he's American. It's Ralph
right.
Lauren." I know it doesn't sound, it, like, sounds like you're trying to zhuzh it up more, but I say Uranus because it feels kinda like in between
Yeah.
Uranus and Uranus.
I mean, it's hard because if you're saying what I would say Uranus so many times on a
It just
podcast in a
yeah.
serious nature, you just have to like I get it. I get it.
It feels the least silly and also not Uranus, because also
Yes.
can't say that. Sometimes I'll switch between, I feel like if we're talking about it for a long time, I'll say all of them, like, in the course of
Oh,
the I'll, like,
that's
keep going back and
incredible.
forth, but
That's that's masterful even.
it also feels like the same way, like, if you're saying, like, croissant and someone says, like, croissant,
Ugh.
like, it's like,
Ugh.
you can't say one part, it's like, again, you gotta be, it's very working class, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. It's like, is it like if I don't pronounce something in Spanish, like with the correct enunciation, then it feels offensive. But if I use the correct enunciation for something like French, it is like bad. It feels like it's does that
It's
make
like you just got
sense?
back yes, it feels like you just got back from study abroad,
It's
and you're like,
performative.
"Actually, it's pronounced croissant."
Right. Like Spanish is our second language here, but it's like when someone goes into that, I mean, but it really hurts like to hear a white person go empanada or like
You know
however
what,
they say
though? I think
guacamole.
I think if you are white, unless you speak Spanish, you
Yeah.
gotta take the hit and pronounce it like a
A
white
white
person,
person. Yeah,
because I do
absolutely.
feel like the key is just accepting that you, like, aren't gonna be cool, because that's, like, what you
Yeah.
do it when you say it, you're, like, trying to be like, "I'm cool, I know how you say it," but it's also, like,
Right.
not unless you can follow it up with a full-blown conversation in Spanish, like,
Yeah.
take the hit.
Totally. I mean, I can't roll my R's. I wish someone could see me when I was in Mexico a couple of years ago on this like tiny little island where nobody spoke English. And I like walked into a store and I was like, ¿Cuántos años? And he was like, excuse me?
Why were you asking someone's age?
I know. I was literally trying to ask how much something costs. I was holding a shirt and I go, ¿Cuántos años?
And they were like, "Too much.
Yeah, he was
You
like,
can't afford if you have to ask, you can't afford it."
yeah, he was just like fully like I mean he was nice, but I was just like I'm going to kill myself. Sam, hi. Thanks for watching. Good to see you in the chit chat. You can see the chat on the
Oh,
side.
yes, I know. It's like, yeah, I agree. Agree.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I mean, where I'm like, you just got because what you're trying to do is be like, I'm not like other white people. But that's the
Yeah.
problem with being like, that's the problem with all of the like white privilege stuff is that you just have to accept like you're white. That's
Yeah.
like, there's only something wrong with it if you abuse the power of it. If you just admit,
Oh
not
man.
everybody, yeah.
I feel like
It
my
sh-
mom has done that before and it's like it's mortifying. I can't even say people's names correctly. I'm like I mean, look, and then I feel bad about that and I'm like, okay, I know, say it wrong and move on. You know what? Speaking of saying it wrong, frozen Capri Sun is your
Capri Sun.
Capri
This
Sun.
I first had this when I was summering in Italy. No.
Yeah. It's called a Capri Sun. Can I just tell you, every now and then I walk around my apartment and out of nowhere just go, "It's a me, Mario."
It's so fun. It's what it feels I know someone else has this joke about how, like, Italian is one of the only accents you can kind of, like, make fun of, and it's not
Yeah.
racist? I don't know, maybe it
That's
is,
how it
though.
feels because it's so, like it's just, like it seems so silly. Also, Americans portray cartoon Italians like these, like, characters where you're think of, like, the Buca de Beppo dude who's like, "I'm an Italian," like,
Yes.
um, but I say boppity boopy all the time. What is that from? There's some I don't
Bibbidi
know.
bobbidi boo?
No, it's like when I talk about Buca de Beppo, it's like Buca de Beppo, boppity
Just think
boopy.
there's something of that of, like, it's very musical and very
Yes.
bouncy and, like, I like
Yeah.
the I tried to teach myself, Italian on Duolingo, and it's yeah, it's hard,
Yeah.
to do it yourself, but it does have that very, like I feel
Yeah.
bad even
No,
trying to
I
do
don't feel
it.
bad. I mean, look, we know everybody knows we love Italians, and it's so
We
funny to
do.
go. Also, it's like, sorry, there's a whole video game about you fucking weirdos. Yes, Family Guy, yes, and also Jones. Thanks for watching. Also, heads up, my cat just took a huge shit, and she always does this when I am doing a podcast.
On
So
next to you or,
I mean,
like
in the area,
in
just so
okay.
I know, just and then she scratches the wall. Anyway, she sucks. But I do feel like it's fair. This show used to happen in a kitchen. Well, it's a different show. This is now a live podcast, Jones, but I appreciate you joining me. I still bake, but here's the truth. No one wanted to watch it. And so I took the hint and said, I'll make videos instead. and I'll do a podcast because everyone and their fucking mother loves to put a podcast on.
You gotta have a podcast. I
Everybody has.
mean, you
I mean,
simply must.
you must. I do feel like, um, I feel like for podcasts, oh, they were wrong. That's nice of you. I mean, I agree too. I think everybody should have. I should be so famous by now. It's insane. Like it's
That's true.
actually fucking insane. But anyway, I mean, I forgot what I was saying. I got overwhelmed.
It's
Anyway,
all right.
Julia, I love you,
I
first of
love
all,
you.
just like as a person and as a friend, and you're so funny. I mean, I'm gonna say all the nice stuff. So I'm stoked to have you here. But also, I asked you to choose your favorite childhood snack. And wow, you really took me back. Frozen Capri Sun?
Yeah. S-
What?
Yeah. A frozen Capri Sun,
Oh,
specifically. I mean, I have a lot of feelings about it. I mean, Capri Sun in general, I know it's not a snack, but I'm a big like frozen person. I love like popsicle,
me
like
too. I have popsicles right now in my freezer.
all of this kind of like frozen juice in any form, like a lemon ice cup or whatever. There was these packs that you used to get at Costco that were those little ones. Sometimes you get them at amusement parks where it's like the Minute Maid or
Yeah.
whatever. Anything specific flavors. I love a lemon. I love a raspberry.
Yes.
I like a
Italian
tropical.
ice?
I love, yeah, anything frozen like that is my jam. But frozen Capri Sun specifically, my best friend growing up, Sarah, she had an older sister, Christy, who also was a frozen freak like
A
me, and
fro freak.
she used to freeze Capri Suns. That's where I got it, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's brilliant." So the key is you freeze the Capri Sun, and then you cut the top off, and then you
Right.
kind of like push it up like a big popsicle. But you gotta
Yes.
let it. Sometimes they freeze like solid. There's a
Yes.
very. I've tried to make as an adult, tried to make kind of like my own popsicles. I got popsicle makers, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, I'm gonna make
shit.
these things." And I do think that I'm sure there's science behind it of like how much water to sugar and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cause I've tried to make like diet popsicles and it
That's
just is
always what
like,
I wanna make.
but it's just an ice cube and you don't get that like granular meltiness that happens when you have the juice and the sugar.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happens, but I feel like Capri Sun sometimes can lean on the solid ice
Right.
like spectrum, but when you get it when it starts like melting a little bit and it's just like, I mean, it's just
Mm.
perfect.
I agree. I agree. And you know what's so funny is I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why, like, when you said it, I was like, um, absolutely.
Mhm.
Because I know 100, I remember, you know what I remember specifically? So, what I remember specifically is when I cut the top off and pushed it up, it would be like, there was no good way to eat it, so I would
Yes.
always go, it was too big for my mouth, so I
You
was
gotta
always
like
like,
gnaw the corner.
yeah,
Like
like, full on, it was like, this is a nail file, but, like, I would just be like, and it was all over my cheeks, and that was, I mean, look, it was all natural, so there was, like, no juice, but like, no color,
yeah.
but,
One
um
time I also like I was saying this like you gotta get it at the right consistency because you're right, it is very a wide shape. It's not the
mm,
popsicle easy to fit in your mouth shape. One time I did before I knew that you could do this, I did put a Capri Sun in the microwave to try to like get a few get it down.
I mean,
Sparks. I didn't explode the full thing, but it did spark, and I was like, "Oh, I guess you can't put Capri Suns in the microwave."
no, I mean, I would have done the same thing, but I also, I mean, I fully get it. I fully, fully get it. I feel like, do you remember those? Do they still sell? First of all, do they still sell Capri Sun? Second
I'm
of
pretty sure
all,
they do.
they do. Okay. And second of all, do you remember those Flintstone push?
Yes, push pops.
Yeah, the push pops that
Yes.
had like the sherbet.
Yes. With
This,
the paper thing on top.
yes. Do they
Yes.
still sell that?
They got to.
I mean, it's such a summer camp vibe. Like all of what you're saying and all of this stuff is just such a hard summer camp vibe.
Yeah, it's all yes, I do think of it in the summer. I think this is something that I did year round, but when I think about snacks, I do think about summertime because I'm not a big snack person because
Okay, get off the show.
I
I'm
well, just I
I'm
mean,
just kidding.
I'm an eater. Don't get it's not that, but there's
No,
something
I hear
about snacks that specifically is like I don't take naps either. It's like I want the big meal or
right.
I want nothing.
No,
But
I hear you. I go ahead.
But summertime, when I think about being a kid, is when you just had all of this day and you had no choice but to like be bored to eat. And so
Yes.
you would find these ones. It's hot, you want something cold. You're not like
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's I feel like there's lots of those kinds of like frozen otter pops, the like
Mm,
push pops. There's like
Klondike.
other but frozen fruit
Oh,
juice
the fruit,
is
yeah. My mom used to make our own popsicles and she was
mhm
very proud of it because she was like very anti like what good humor ones, which
mhm.
I have like a shit ton of
Oh,
sugar-free ones in my freezer right now.
love.
And I will eat like 17 popsicles in a sitting and it's so satisfying.
I think there's something
Um,
about cold food that you can just objectively eat more of because
yeah.
it doesn't like take up space in your stomach. That's a thing I've absolutely made up, but
No,
like,
no, no, no. That's how I feel too. Also, Lauren, hi, welcome. And Blue Sky sodas, by the way. That is what my mom would let me have. She would have,
oh,
yeah, this they were like all natural. They still have them now. Um,
is this like
but
a East Coast thing?
no, they have them at Sprouts here.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
No, it's
Sorry
fine.
you're not in the club. No, frozen stuff I do feel like I can always eat more of. What was I gonna say? You know, we had Dave Ross on and he talked about frozen grapes.
I
And
watched.
yeah, that's right, you did. And then
I chimed in. I have
can
frozen
I
grapes in my freezer right now.
it's insane. Do you freeze any other fruit?
I love frozen fruit. I will like
Do
buy
you?
that's like I'll eat almost anything frozen, to be honest.
Yeah.
I love frozen fruit. I'll buy the bags that you're supposed to use for like smoothies and stuff, but I will do that.
You'll
I used
just
to
eat
eat
it.
just eat it straight frozen. I love frozen pineapple, blueberries.
Frozen pineapple.
Trader Joe's has pineapple tidbits that are frozen, and I mean it's like candy. It's the most delicious frozen, like
Does it hurt your teeth?
sometimes.
Mm,
That's what I was gonna say. Like I do like frozen berries, but sometimes like a strawberry is pretty hard to eat if it's not like that does hurt your teeth.
yeah.
So I like the ones that are a little more poppable. That's why I like these tidbits. They're just like little
Yeah.
chunks.
I like
Um,
that.
I used to eat frozen peas.
Okay, we gotta go because of that. That's not right. That's
But they're
inappropriate.
so good. It's so good because peas
Peas,
are like
peas,
sweet.
peas in general are not good.
Try them frozen. I'm telling you.
Here, let's ask Sugar Bear. She
I
just took a
that to me
giant.
is a yes.
She took a giant dump and she's now like, fuck peas. Okay, fine, we get it. You
I
psychopath.
mean, that
Um,
to me is a pro pea
how do you feel
meow.
about frozen corn?
I'll eat it frozen.
Wow. I'm trying to think. You
Frozen
know,
green beans.
oh, interesting. I used to eat frozen
Just
waffles.
that I haven't had frozen waffles, but I'm sure I would like it.
I was gonna
Did
say,
you
is
ever
that where you
get
draw the
those?
line?
No, I do not draw the line. My mom was a big I think it's this is that my mom is a big like buy and bulk and freeze. And then so you would just have all of this stuff that was already frozen. And
Yeah,
then there's some stuff that just like doesn't translate to unthawing. And so I
totally.
just kind of was like, well, I'm going to eat it. I don't know. Like that's like I feel
No,
like that's like they did you ever get those do you have Costco on the East Coast
no, we have
or equivalent?
Sam. Actually, maybe now we have Costco, but we had Sam's Club or like like Joe's or something.
One of my favorites is Costco would have these like flats of muffins. and we would buy because they would come and it would be like the ones that you could do like you'd buy it again to like sell at a bakery or something like
Yeah.
that. But there'd be like, 8 blueberry, 8 strudel, 8 chocolate chip or whatever. And
Yeah.
frozen blueberry muffin. Mm,
Yeah.
mwah.
Frozen pastry, like frozen
Yeah.
cakey stuff. I
Yes.
mean, I always, because I bake all the time, I always have like pieces of frozen cake in my freezer, and it's so fucking good.
So good. I love frozen cake,
Yeah.
love frozen baked goods.
I'll eat a shit ton of that. Frozen lychee jelly cups. Wait, let me see
Hmm.
this. Hojoman. I does jelly freeze? Is my
That's
question.
I don't
So
know. But
interesting.
that could also be an interesting kind of like textural thing. I think I like
That's
a
what I was
firm
thinking.
I guess I just like a firm texture and cold in whatever I'm eating.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I like where did you ever you guys don't have I think I've talked about this before. Did you have Rita's Italian Ice out here?
We do now, but not growing up.
Okay.
I would have loved Arita's growing
Rita's
up.
Italian Ice was, I mean, I worked there for a period of time and I would take the soft pretzels and
Mm,
dip them in the custard because it was frozen custard. And I was
yes,
like,
I
it's
like
so
this.
rich. And then I would dip it in the Italian ice. Yes,
I
Rita,
love it.
Sam. Yeah, I was obsessed, and I got in trouble all the time for eating all of that. And it was so good. You would never think like custard and Italian ice, but I was like, this is like a dream.
I yeah, I feel like I guess I was gonna be like Italian. That's an East Coast thing.
Literally, Italians only live on the East Coast, and they're all named It's a me, Mario.
But I do feel like that's Italian ice is like what I would when you asked me childhood snack, I was like
Yeah.
Capri Sun's the only one that I can say like by name, but I do know that like Italian ice is actually maybe the better like category.
Mm.
But
Yeah, no, I also snow cones,
sure.
like
Oh,
in a scenario, especially like
A shave ice too. That do you remember when they used to have like I remember that again it's like very summer and evocative. There was
yeah.
like a Hurricane Harbor. I grew up by a Six Flags that's like down the street. Not
Oh, that's
it's
right. I
yeah.
know exactly the one you're talking about. That's when everyone goes to in LA, right?
Yes, Magic Mountain.
Yes.
I was not a big roller coaster person, but I did love the water park Hurricane Harbor.
Ooh,
And
same.
they had shave ice there and it would be I'm sure they had this other places too, but I remember the tiger's
Mm,
blood flavor, which is just like some kind of cherry
fuck.
something, but like yeah, any kind of just like frozen juice, man. That's my jam.
I mean, it's actually like really insane that the idea of just taking a sugar syrup and ice and dumping sugar on it, I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'm in. I
It's
like,
it's got to be cheap too, right? To like
yeah.
I guess you have to have the means to keep the ice cold.
Sure, but then they have all
And
these places where, like, they these places now where they like will just like shave a bunch of ice and it's like performative,
mhm,
and then they dump shit on it, and it's crazy. I
I
don't
love
know.
that.
I mean, I love it too. Also, Dippin' Dots. If we're gonna talk about water parks and Six
Ah,
Flags,
I
I
love it. I
mean,
know we're controversial, but I love Dippin' Dots.
I love Dip. I remember I was so fucking excited all the time if we went to like an amusement park to get Dippin' Dots.
I remember when it used to be a bigger deal. I feel like
Yeah.
now it's kind of like you can get them anywhere, but I remember when it really was like the ice cream of the future, and when you saw it, you were like, "This is." I
Right,
mean,
that's it.
I can't
Oh,
believe,
they're insane.
I can't believe they've done this. This is what is the world gonna look like if this is the ice cream of the future? I don't know.
Oh my
You
god, and
know,
it would stick to your tongue. Wait, so Jones asked, have either of you
I
ever had shaved ice cocktails?
I don't know if I've had a shave ice cocktail, but I have had tiki drinks that have had a lot of shaved ice in them, and I love it. and it makes me. I would be worried to have a shaved iced cocktail because I think I could have a lot more than I should, if that makes
Ooh, you bad
sense.
girl.
I am a lush, a huge
Send
lush.
her
So
home. I actually love when you're drunk. Julia is like one of the people who, when she's drunk, holds court. And it's like literally the best thing. It's so lovely and fun and hilarious. You're one of my favorite drunk people for sure.
thank you.
You're
Oh my
welcome. I think about it all the
gosh.
time. I think about Kristen's wedding, and I was like, you in the car. Nobody's gonna understand this, but in the drive-through, you were just like, "Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Listen up."
I do get very like uh not mean girl, but I was like, what's like popular girl at the sleepover?
It's
That's like,
so
okay, you
good.
guys, here's what we're talking about. I just did this. I just had my first kind of like outing out in where there was like drinking with more than my household.
Sure.
And it was very much like, okay, this is what now we're going to talk about Jessica Simpson's book. Does anybody else have any opinions about Jessica
Oh,
Simpson?
I
Here's
love
mine.
it. You make it
Like,
so easy to, like, hang out, though, because you're just like, I don't have to think. You're like, "And I'll lead the conversation, and this is what we're doing," and I'm like, "I'm here for it 100%."
I have a lot of just like
Stuff to say.
I do
You're
have so
y
much to
you've
say.
got a lot of information to share. Um, I guess so saying Moscow, I like you know what I really like? I like milk ice, which is a thing. Have
What
you
is
had milk
that?
ice? Okay, so they
No.
did have it at Rita's Italian Ice. It was literally just like a milky version of Italian ice, which you would think sounds disgusting. So good.
I love because what I was going to say too is I love a blended drink, and that to me
Mhm.
just is like a blended coffee or
It's
that same
yes.
idea where I'm like, oh, or like a milkshake or whatever it is where it's like not you it does sound gross when you say like milk ice, but
Yes.
also I love a blended coffee. I get the Moscow Mule being a shaved ice cocktail. Then yes, I've
Yeah.
had just like a cocktail with shaved ice in it. Yes, I was thinking in my head of like a boozy snow cone, which I'm sure exists too.
It
But
definitely does. So it
do you
used to
know where they
be.
have a? No, it's not a boozy snow cone, but Block Party. They had
Oh,
that
they
like
do?
they did have they have like the spinny um like the frozen drink machine, but they also have a popsicle. I feel like that's like a
That's the
boozy popsicle
thing.
edition in one of the things, which I'm like,
Yeah.
this is too much.
That's totally a thing. That's totally yeah. I mean, it's easy enough to make, I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
That's something that I've always saved. You know, I'm a notorious bachelorette party
oh yeah,
planner and attender.
legendary actually.
And I that's something that's like always on the Pinterest board is always a boozy popsicle, and I've just never done it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sober, so it doesn't matter to me at
I
all.
know.
But I mean, look, I'll participate in any. People are like, "Ooh, boozy ice cream." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck if it's ice cream. I mean, I'm not going to have boozy ice cream, but I'm more
You're
than
like,
happy to
yeah.
get a virgin blended cocktail any
Yes.
day cuz it's fucking fun and icy." Also, I've seen this. Well, there's Halo. I don't think that's in different Asian countries, there's different versions of shaved ice, and some of it's with like condensed milk. Okay, yes, I just said Halo. Perfect. Hojamin. Yeah. I like there's all these fun things to try that they do. I said that. It's like those, but no. That I mean, it's so like they do a really like different Asian countries do like a really fucking good job of fucking with ice in a way that is fun with like fruit and shit. Anyway, what am I doing? I've never had it, but I've wanted it. I always see it
That
on the
sounds
menu at
amazing.
Korean restaurants in LA, and I never do it because I'm a gazer, Julia. I look at
I
menus and leave.
No, I'm the same way. I like just don't I feel like I'm getting better as I've gotten older, but I feel like I don't allow myself to like Uh,
Get the thing you want.
or just like try I don't know, I'm just so this is like definitely like diet culture holdover where I'm just like that's not where I'm not drinking my calories or that sort
Yes.
of thing. But it's also like I love that stuff.
I know. That's what I think, like, I'm trying to figure out the vibe for this, like, podcast stream or whatever, and I think it's, like, because we're adults and we have to be adults, it's definitely more childhood snacks, fantasy snacks if we didn't have to be like, "What are we putting in our bodies and will it give us heartburn?" You know?
Mhm.
Like that
Well,
or binge snacks, like, that's a I mean, well, I guess that's unhealthy, but I mean, debatable.
yeah, I mean, but also I just think even the idea of like having a snack is such a like I don't know, it is such a childish thing to me. I've been
It is.
like
It's
of like, "Oh,
whimsical.
do you need a snack?" Like that's it's
Yeah.
like someone who isn't able to regulate their body or like their emotions around being hungry to understand when their next meal is coming.
Oh my god, like a dad with, like, low, what do you call it? Blood sugar. My dad always used to be like, "I gotta get something to eat. My blood sugar is low." And we were like, "Don't be a dick."
You're like,
Um,
or yeah, you're like,
you're
"Yeah,
like,
we all need something to eat."
Dad, shut up. You're such a liar. Would your doctor tell you that? Shut up.
Did you check your blood sugar? What is low blood sugar,
Oh
you
my
know?
God. Wait,
Uh
someone, Jones mentioned Pirates of the Caribbean restaurant. I just want to give a shout out to all theme restaurants real quick.
I love is this at the Blue Bayou, the Pirates of the Caribbean restaurant, Disneyland?
Great
Jones?
question. We're gonna have to wait and get the answer.
I also loved virgin cocktails as okay, hell yeah, the Blue Bayou. I mean, I loved virgin cocktails as a kid.
Yeah.
Would always order a virgin margarita, a virgin strawberry daiquiri, a virgin pina colada wherever we went. Loved going
Yeah.
out to restaurants to get that. I have a vivid memory of skateboarding with my friend Sarah.
Damn, you're
Uh,
fucking cool, dude.
me and her took up skateboarding because we met these other two boy neighbors who skateboarded, and we were like, "We're doing it." So we would skateboard on these little they were called the paseos that are just like bike paths that connect our neighborhoods, but you could do it
Yeah.
so you never had to be on the main street. So our parents would let us just roam about the paseos, but
Oh my God.
we would go to our this little strip mall by right pretty close to our house. We lived on the same street, and we would go to this little Mexican restaurant, and it would just be like four like fifth graders just ordering a bunch of virgin margaritas. Like
Um, I literally live for watching teen outings. One time I was over by the Grove and I was at it was like Blaze Pizza or something, and it didn't connect with me that it was a Friday night.
yeah.
And I went in and I was like, "What the fuck is happening in here?" And it was like all the like eighth graders or teenagers with their like tables and shit. I'm like, "Oh, I guess where else are they gonna hang out?"
No.
You
Don't you
know what I
remember like
mean?
that to me is like the I remember just being obsessed with and yeah, like seeing it now, you're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like
you're like, "You guys are being real weird."
but I just remember being I wanted to be a grown up so bad, and I
Oh
was
my
just, like,
god, I
obsessed
know.
with, like, going out to a restaurant or sitting and being like, "No, let's see if they know we're 13." And it's like,
Wait,
yeah, they definitely did. But
100%.
and then also being, like, mortified by other people my age who weren't acting like they were adults, where it's like, "Don't you know
They would
how"
be with their parents.
or not even with their parents, but it would just be like, don't act like an idiot. You're supposed to pretend like you're an adult. We're getting access into this like
Ugh.
adult world right now. So when we go to the movies, don't like dump the popcorn butter somewhere. You have to act like you have like money, like you're an adult, like that, like that
Yeah.
kind of like
We would have been so tight.
I know.
It's so funny. When I was in, I think it was 8th grade. Yeah, when I was in 8th grade, I was taking tap dancing classes at this strip
Mhm.
mall. and I didn't like it. And so my mom would drop me off at the tap dancing class, and I would go in the front door, and then I would leave and walk to the end of the strip mall where there was an Italian restaurant, and I would sit and eat the bread and order a cheesecake slice because that's what I could
Yes,
afford. And I would
yes.
literally just sit there in my dance clothes and be like, mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I did that several times, and then my mom was like, "Why do I keep getting? Why did your dance teacher just call and ask why you've been absent so often?" And I was like,
You're
"Ooh."
like,
But I
uh-oh.
felt so fancy. It was one of those low lighting Italian restaurants that
Mhm.
with like the fancy napkins and shit. And so I would
Of
just be like,
course.
"Excuse me, I'm just getting dessert tonight. Just, just
Oh,
a
it's
little
yeah, just a little something, but just,
scarfing
like,
the bread."
obsessed with trying to be an adult.
Oh my God, 100%. No, I was too. And excuse me, I have to burp on the mic always. I can't believe I didn't even get a drink. I'm so discombobulated. This is what I brought for my snack. It's just loose meat, just loose,
That's a very hey, that's a snack I would have.
I'm a big fan of. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's an adult snack. We've got frozen Capri Sun when you're a kid, and then when you grow up, you eat loose lunch meat.
I mean, yeah, what's my snack now? Like meat, a string cheese, a handful of nuts.
A handful
Like
of nuts is like such a nightmare to have become my mom. Like
it's but that's why I'm like I just never a snack also never I just feel like the snack makes me I just can't have a snack.
no.
It's just the like
Sugar Bear's so hype.
sugar.
He, like, loves it.
I forget that cats are carnivores.
Well, she doesn't forget, and
I know.
look at this little baby. Wait, do it on the mic so we can hear it. Yeah.
Now this is an ASMR
I know,
podcast.
that's what I just wanted. She just got too big of a bite, and I'm gonna eat this, and I don't fucking care. There's nothing you could do about it. You can't have any. Um, I want to ask you about some of your favorite snacks on that note. Okay, what is
Sure.
your favorite midnight snack? Also, okay, think about I want you to approach this from a fantasy angle because like we just talked about the
Okay.
reality
Yeah.
is like I
Yeah.
get home at 12 and I'm like you can't eat anything. It's too late.
Yeah, I'm not a midnight snacker. I am a late night drunk eater or a late night eater.
Ooh. Love
I'll
that. I want
eat
to hear.
I'll eat late night. I just think I'm just like not a snacker. Because it's like too it to me it just like it turns on my hunger more than
You
it's
make
like
quesadillas all the time. Why do I think you make quesadillas?
no, Steve will make a quesadilla. Steve is
Oh.
better I feel like at snacking, but um
Steve is her boyfriend by the oh my
my
god, Steve is your
husband.
husband. I'm
Thank
so sorry you
you.
guys got married in
Uh,
car.
I was wearing leggings and dirty Nikes, so I do feel like it's like legal a marriage, but it also feels like it didn't happen.
I love how many people are like, "You know what? Best time to get
It
married."
is. I mean, I have a dress and I'm gonna have a wedding still. Like
Yeah.
but
Men are
they
stoked. They're like, "Are you
I
kidding me? I
know.
don't have to do anything." It's like, "Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it is
Baby."
it is a good time, but I mean just like fast food and that stuff. But I do have a vivid memory of a midnight snack when I truly like woke up, couldn't go back to sleep, and I was like, I'm gonna have something, and it's cereal
Oh my god, what kind of cereal and is it dry or with milk?
with milk.
Ugh.
I did a. It's just gonna sound like such an old lady.
No, I love it.
It was just some kind of like flake cereal, but I did open up a pack of like the Trader Joe's like Omega Trail Mix.
Shut the fuck up.
So it was like
Sugar
not
Bear.
not grape nuts, but it probably was like bran flakes or something. But like cold it's
Honestly,
like the cold milk, the cereal, the crunch, all of the textures in there. I love that's a snack I do. Like I love a yogurt with stuff too.
triple S, 1 a.m. grape nuts. I'm here for it.
Yes.
One of Nick's favorite cereals is like it's called like bran holes or something. It's like the square.
The oat bran, like oh my
Oh,
god, what are those called? I know exactly what he's talking about, and it's so good. I fucking love that.
he like gets so excited. Oh my god, puffins were my jam when I was a kid.
I'm
Uh,
looking this up because the name is like so literal. It's like
yeah, it's like oat. Hey Nick. Oh, he does not answering.
oat square.
Um, um. Oh my god, you're Sam from YouTube. Oh my god. Hey.
Cracklin.
Um.
Oh, I'm thinking of Cracklin Oat Bran.
Yes, 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 yes. That's it.
Yes.
That's
Dude, I remember
it.
having that as a kid and being like, this is the best thing I've ever had in my
I
life.
wasn't allowed to have it. I was allowed to have puffins. I was allowed to have Cheerios. We had plain mini wheats. I could just hear Sugar Bear's stomach, and I know she's gonna fucking throw up. That it wasn't a good
Yes.
idea. I'm so
Do it
sorry,
on
Sugar
camera.
Baby. Do it on camera and do it to the beat of this song. Oot, oot. Honey Nut Cheerios were great. I wasn't allowed to have anything high sugar, and so now when I snack, well, I'm like a big fan now as an adult. If I'm gonna snack, I'm getting a variety
Hmm.
and I'm going hard. So I'm gonna do like multiple different kinds of chips. I'll get like two different kinds of cereals. It's always like Lucky Charms and then something of like a different texture.
Hmm.
And then a cinnamon toast crunch, yes. Although I guess we're not supposed to eat that anymore because there's shrimp in it. Do we
No,
believe that?
no, and that guy was an abuser, and
Yes.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is innocent in all of this, I think.
I
Maybe forgive me if
agree.
I'm speaking incorrectly because I am not informed on all of the details. I just know that turns out the guy was awful. So
Yeah.
I don't
Well, he
sh-
deserved shrimp.
how the fuck did shrimp get in the cinnamon toast factory? That's what I mean. Where it's like, nah, this seemed like a
Wait, there's a name for it online because I was just looking it up. A Pop Tart. It's like a
rats.
it's like something rats.
Like the
Interesting.
rats ate the shrimp and like carried it in Ratatouille style, like carried
Yeah,
over their little.
interesting.
Oh, okay.
Well, adult
Okay.
snacks suck altogether anyway, which is why I think this is about. Do I change this to childhood snack time? No, nobody fucking cares. There's also 40 different podcasts called Snack Time, and I would just like to say
Whatever.
none of them will ever be as fun as this one
No, they won't.
because they're not.
I'll never go on any of them. I
Yeah,
don't even care if they invite me.
don't you fucking dare.
I do like an adult snack. I like an apple with peanut butter.
Okay, okay,
That kind of
that's fair.
like again, a yogurt with some like nuts and berries and
What do you bring to a
and
picnic?
oh, see, this is what I mean. Where I'm like, that's not a. It depends on the picnic. I do have my new favorite like summer bring is a cucumber pineapple salad with lime and tahine.
Okay, excuse me. I'm a cucumber snacky bitch.
Yes.
This is like obvious. Hey Julie, I'm starting a competing podcast called Snack Corner. Put Snack Corner in my fucking butthole. Um, pretzel salad. What the fuck is pretzel? Hold
Pretzel
on.
salad.
Wait, wait, wait,
Okay,
wait,
we're gonna
wait.
need
What the
more.
fuck is pretzel salad?
That
Because
sounds like
that
when I have the end of a chip bag and I like pour it in a bowl and put and like eat it with the. Have you
it's
ever done
gotta
that?
it's gotta be Chex Mix of some sort. Chex Mix, by the way.
Oh,
Ooh, very good.
Google it. Rude.
I'm not gonna Google it, okay? This is a live podcast,
Yeah.
and I don't have time to Google. I only have time to check
Drop a
Craigslist for
link at
apartments.
least. Come on.
Um, no, I truly. What is your favorite? What's like your favorite period snack or PMS snack?
Oh, I love that chocolate bark thins. Dark chocolate
Okay,
almond bark thins.
that is
I
such a
will
mom move.
do a bag done. I mean,
Yeah,
no question. That's the thing where I'm like, I just don't. I guess in my mind, I associate snack with like a small amount of something, and I don't
yeah.
eat small amounts.
I
I like to
actually,
find things that I can eat the whole thing of,
yeah.
and that's it.
I I agree. I think that for me, I feel like okay, so you're on TikTok, like you watch TikTok, right?
Mhm.
I saw everybody that does meal prep, like all the psychotic meal prep people, they will like have snacks involved and they'll like do like a handful of goldfish or something like that. Also, all these women packing their man's lunchbox to go to work. Like, what do construction workers eat as snacks? Goldfish?
That's what I mean, where I'm like, who is having a snack? Where
Yeah.
you're just I mean, and I guess people are, I don't know. I now I'm thinking of coworkers who for sure brought snacks. I've never had low blood sugar. I've never had a fast
Same.
metabolism, and I'm like, I'm
Same.
good. Your girl eats to like sustain for the day. I'm eating like a cave person who's like, I don't know when my next meal is coming. I am
Yeah.
not I am not having a handful of goldfish, and I'm having goldfish and I'm eating the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh wait, so Triple S is in construction. Wait, I highlighted the wrong
Two
one.
lunches. See, I like that. I fuck with 2 lunches.
Yeah, I like honestly, I guess it's
Yes.
nice if two lunches make sense. Here's the thing though, it's like I will replace a meal with snacks. So if you give me the option most of the time, if you give me the option between something like a sandwich or three different kinds of snacks, like pretzels, potato chips, Doritos, I will choose the pretzels, potato chips, Doritos instead of the sandwich.
See, I'm going sandwich.
Wow.
I'm a completist, I guess. Or I don't know if that's the one, but it's like I want to be able to finish something.
It makes
That's more
so
what it
no,
is.
it makes sense. Oh my god. It makes sense, but it's like I'm a big buffet type person, so it's like if someone's
Yeah.
having a party, I am so fucking hype for that snack table,
Mhm.
and I like can't wait and I make people take pictures if they're there before me. I
They're
mean,
like,
this
"What
is
am I
all
working
like
with?"
yeah, this is all theoretical at this
Of
point
course.
because
We'll go we'll snack again. It's going to
yeah.
come back. It's not going to, you know. But
Wait.
I respect that. I do think too busy lifting or building, moving to have ability to snack. Yeah, got it. Another sandwich person. I love a
n-
cheese sandwich. I think I do. I think I've just nailed it. I have not like I haven't figured that out, but it's finishing it. I like to finish things.
What do you think appetizers are snacks? Like if you're at a party and there's pigs in a blanket?
Hmm. Yeah, I think so. I like that though cuz it's like a there's something about like I love a chips and salsa. I love a chips and hummus. I love like but that to me there's something like too never ending about it. Snack
Yeah.
just feels like it doesn't have a definite end, and I like a goal. I like to say like I crossed this off. But something like a pigs in a blanket, you can like finish they're individuals. So you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have 4 pigs in a blanket," or whatever, like
I'm
but I don't
I'm
know, that's an interesting I do
isn't that an
snack
interesting question now? Like as an adult, hors d'oeuvres to me are snacks. So when I go to a wedding, if you have like good hors d'oeuvres, I don't want your fucking piece of salmon. I don't give a shit about your salmon over risotto.
I
I just
guess
want
it
like
is
grilled cheese bites.
I feel like at a wedding, hors d'oeuvres are snack, but an app isn't a
It's
snack because it
yeah.
is part of the meal. Because to me, snack implies that it is like in between the set bigger meal.
Wait, so is it also do we think that like snack I mean, snack can be whatever you want it to be technically, but do we feel like snacks are not cooked? Like if it's
Oh,
cooked, I mean, these are all important questions. So it's like if it's
that's a
cooked,
good point. I would say, yeah, it can't be cooked.
I mean, it feels that way because it's like you go from cheese and crackers to grilled cheese, and that is not, I mean, that
Like
doesn't feel like a
prep,
snack.
I guess I mean, yes, chips are cooked, but not. I am not cooking
But
the
they're not
chips.
hot. Like stuff
I
that's served hot. Although hot dip, queso.
but I wow.
I know it's look, it's a really controversial, challenging subject because hot cheese to me,
Oh, I mean,
snacks.
absolutely. I
Snacks
love a
fondue.
I love a fondue, but then I think it just is like I think it can be both. I think there are things that could be a snack and like a full meal because you could have a fondue meal.
Yeah.
Then that to me is more in like the tapas territory than the like a small
Yeah.
bites as opposed to snack. Again, I think snack I guess we could make an argument that it could be cooked. It could be to me
Right.
snack the snack distinction is where it is in relationship to the larger meal. Snack is a
Fair.
standalone presumably smaller thing. I think we can like make
Yeah.
a snack meal. Again, then we're in like tapas territory. But I think it's mostly the most important thing to me is that it's separate.
I am a fill up on chips and salsa person
Yeah,
at Mexican restaurants. So like
absolutely.
I'm also, when I had no money when I was in college, I would just go to Mexico. I mean, these poor people like that are like, get the fuck, like, get the fuck out of here. It's like when I ordered the cheesecake and they were like, "Are you really gonna eat all this bread?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
But I'm like a full chips and guac, chips and salsa. I'll go in and just order just that. Um, Jones, thanks for
Thank you so
watching.
much,
Appreciate it.
Jones.
Yes.
We will be well. You
Yes.
will be and you will be missed.
And you guys are so polite. It's crazy. Saying goodbye to people and stuff. What is that? I'm just
Be
kidding.
well. Be well sounds kind of British.
Be well. I say cheers at the end of my emails.
I say cheers sometimes. I also speaking of studying abroad and how that changes you. I did have a friend who studied abroad. I never studied abroad,
Oh,
but
you
I did have
didn't?
no. I
I
did
would have
have
pegged you for someone that's been to Europe in high
I've been
school.
to Europe.
Oh, sorry.
I just didn't study abroad. I did visit
Okay.
my friend Rosie while she studied abroad,
Oh, okay.
but
Interesting.
But I never lived there, but I remember my friend Kaylee came back after studying abroad and she was dating this British guy. British guys love American women.
Really?
I've never known anybody who a woman who didn't go to study abroad and meet a man.
I mean, I think British men, we're all people are manipulated by accents because I think it's like interesting and new. And I've like found, I mean, I watch a lot of Love Island, and so
Mhm.
you're like, oh, damn, like this accent. And then it's like, wow, you're like an actual trash bag. Like
Yeah.
your whole being is trash, but I'm just so into like your weird accent. I don't know. Maybe they feel that way about Americans. I wonder how they feel about Southern accents.
I don't know because I think there's just like a forwardness that we take for granted in our culture that
Mm,
doesn't exist in British culture. Like, and that's unfair. It's unfair for of me to be like British women are uptight because that's shitty.
yeah.
But I think in this instance, it's again I'm thinking of like college guys too, so I don't think that that's
Yeah.
necessarily true for like adults.
Right.
But I just know everybody that I've known who's gone to study abroad did come back with a long distance relationship. One of them
Interesting.
married the guy.
Shut up.
Yeah,
They still together?
she lives there now. I was a bridesmaid in her wedding
What? I've never been to
through the
Europe.
batch through her bachelorette party.
Fuck. I
You
want
seem
to
like someone
go.
who's never been to Europe.
Do I?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, but I've been to Thailand. So actually I'm
Yeah.
more
That's
artsy.
cool.
Do
I
you
know
know?
you've traveled.
Look, I had that like backpacker. No, I'm just kidding. I like was like we have to stay at nice hotels in Thailand. I was
I
like
mean,
imagine if we stayed at a hostel, how embarrassing.
I feel like you can't not because of like the quality. It's just like a age thing.
No,
Like
it
I don't.
is. We actually did stay at this hostel one night, and I just was like, I found some cats, so I was fine.
Hell yeah.
There was like cats and kittens, but I looked around and I was like, this place is a literal gorgeous playground for people in like 19 through 25. But
Yeah.
all I wanted to do was lay in a hammock and drink Thai iced tea.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I feel like what you the I don't, accommodations or whatever. It's not about it is about like staying in a nice place. It's not just about like I feel like when you're younger, you are like drunk most of the time
Yeah,
and
it
so it doesn't
doesn't.
matter. You're just like you just need a place to like throw your stuff and pass out.
Right.
Whereas like when you're older and you actually are trying to like experience the place more, it is like
Yeah.
I want to stay in a nice place cuz I want to sleep well so I can go explore the
Right.
place that I'm in or
Well,
whatever.
it's like I just spent all this money to get here. If you
Yeah.
think I'm not gonna fucking stay on a nice mattress, you can literally die. Like
Also, I just can't not sleep on a nice mattress anymore.
I
I'm too old.
know I'm way too old. If my back gets fucked up, I'm furious.
And then it's done. What do you then it's like what are you going to do? You're going to stay in the hotel?
You
It's
can
going to be
kill
awful.
yourself. You have to jump off the roof.
It's the
You have to
rules.
Cecil Hotel. All
It's legally required.
if you have a bad night's sleep, you got to
They're
Cecil
not
Hotel it and jump
they're
in the
not going to let
fucking
you back into your country. They're like stay there.
no.
You're dead to us.
Sick fuck. One thing I'll say about Thailand that I loved is that I got to hoard antibiotics because they have them at pharmacies without prescriptions. I feel like they do that in a
Mhm.
lot of countries,
I
but
think they do that in most places that aren't the United States because of I'm sure there are other like they would say it's for like regulatory reasons, but I think it's just
yeah.
money reasons, privatized uh like they don't want they need
Yeah.
they can get more money if you have to go to the doctor to get they
No,
charge more
America
all of that
fucking
kind of
sucks.
yeah.
Um, wait, what is this? Wait, what a triple. What's the viewpoint on vacations like that? Itineraries or do whatever. Interesting. Great
Okay,
question.
great
Because I'd love
question.
to know what your, Julia, you tell me what your opinion is
I
first.
think it depends on the vacation. It depends on where we're going and
Right.
like what the goal is. Again, I'm very goal oriented and I
Yep.
feel like it's like if I'm sometimes I do want to go on a vacation to just relax and not do anything and then
Right.
it's like yeah, no, we're not doing an itinerary situation, but I do think it helps to have at least like one thing a day that you want to do. And I think it
Yeah.
also this depends on how many people you're traveling with. I think the more people you're with, the better it is to be like here's the general
Yeah.
again going back to my bachelorette party planning experiences
Yep.
when you're having 8 to 15 people, you got to tell people what's
Oh,
going on.
what a
That's too
nightmare.
it's too many people to decide like, well what do you want to do? It's like no, everybody wants someone to just make the call and say what we're doing. And
Yeah.
then you could, if someone really has a problem with it, you can adjust from there. But I think if you're traveling in a group, you definitely need some kind of itinerary that
Yeah.
allows for people to break off and do their own thing too, but does have like a
Yes.
guideline. But I like having an itinerary and then kind of deviating from it where
Yes.
it's like I don't like having anything where you feel like you have
Yeah,
to
that
be
gives me
there.
anxiety.
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
want that cuz it's vacation. And if you end up like finding a place that you'd actually we were going to go on this tour but we're really enjoying sitting at this restaurant for longer. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
I like it. You got to have freedom to be in the moment and enjoy what you're seeing.
100%. I'm with you. And Triple S Sam was also talking about how like maximizing your money, maximizing the experience. I think it really depends on where you go. Like when we went to Thailand, for example, I was like, I mean, you have to go out and experience
Mhm.
shit. But it would also, we would plan stuff. We would be like, we're going to go to this food market, which RIP, we probably can never go to again. Speaking of snacks, fucking
Yes.
open food markets in Asia, I live. Anyway, that's where COVID started. So, not in Thailand
Not
though.
in Thailand.
But I do feel like now, for example, like we're gonna go to Palm Springs for 2 nights at the end of the month, and I refuse to do anything.
Yeah.
Um, like Palm Springs is a place where you can't plan anything. You just
Yeah,
can't.
no.
That is like
No,
a
that's
fully The same thing where it's like it depends on where you go because we stayed at this resort one time in Mexico and it was a living nightmare. Like there's literally nothing for you to do except
Mhm.
lay next to a pool, look at other people, and go to their bad restaurants.
I think it's also because I was just thinking we went to Colombia in 2019 with my
Mm,
family. Again, we're talking about a group one, so we got to have some
right,
guidelines. But also, that's a place that I had never been, and I had no preconceptions about things to do. So I
right.
think it's also like if you've never been there and you don't know um what the sites are that you should see when you're there, I do definitely believe in like maximizing the opportunity to see what a place has to offer. Some places
Yeah,
are pretty obvious where it's like if you're going to Paris, like you're going to want to see the Eiffel Tower at some point
yeah,
or whatever. Like there's ones that I think there it's a little more you can be loose cuz you know the things to hit, but also if you're going
yeah.
to like I'm a newer itinerary person. Also, I've been really lucky to kind of like hop on other people's trips. I don't plan a lot of trips
Ugh,
myself.
I love when other people plan it. I'll say this though, when I go, I've become way more intentional about what I really want. Like I actually
Mhm.
think if I went to Paris, I probably wouldn't go to the Eiffel Tower.
Well, I mean, you just go, you just see it's there. It's like not
Right.
a
Like
and
I
it's
can't see myself like but I would be like, let me find an amazing bakery
yes.
and go there or like some experience like that. That makes that to me is more important. I will skip the typical sightseeing because I think it's a waste of time because there's so many pictures online.
I love and if you can find this, and I do feel like there is an equivalent, my like hot travel tips are always like find a thing that is like a bus or a boat that kind of like gives you a quick
Yeah.
roundabout thing. I'm a big fan of like taking the uh take like the Spark Notes tour because you
Yes.
get it. And then you find the other things that you like. But
100%. Like
I
if for example, and it's like you get to know stuff better. Like when you go to LA, you go to like Hollywood Park to go see the Hollywood sign and take a picture, right?
yeah.
But you could literally hike to it and that's a better
Mhm.
experience.
Much better. But and also it's like don't go to Hollywood.
I know. It's
Like
like what?
that's not a I mean unless you really want to go. But I remember like I had cousins come to visit here. I'm from here, so I
Yeah.
it's also not that big a deal. But I remember being like this is not where I would want to I know you guys like want to see Hollywood, but it's not like what you imagine either. And I
No.
think that's a lot of tourist destinations where you're like, yeah, I get like yeah, there's pictures online. I like in London, it's like, yeah, you just like see like, oh, that's Big Ben. Okay, on to the next thing. You're not
Right.
like, let's make this a day.
Yeah, 100%. Wait, okay. So triple S. Okay, then someone who never having been to LA or California, where do you need to go?
I think it really depends on what kind of trip you want. There's
Yeah,
always like that's the
what
thing.
you
I think
like.
you hit it, Lindsay, of just saying like, well, what is important to you on the thing like do you want to eat a lot? Do you want to have like an active outdoorsy trip? I mean, the beach,
Right.
obviously, you got to go to the beach.
Yeah,
That's
and you gotta
the
go to Malibu, not Santa Monica.
yeah,
You have to skip the
Malibu.
boardwalk.
Yeah, boardwalk, who cares? Uh,
Oh, this is a great question. Is there a snack you had in another country that you think could get popular in the US if it had a chance?
I don't know if this is a snack, but my in the UK they have a lot better vegetarian option. Like they
Hmm,
have halloumi cheese as an option as like a meat substitute that I am shocked has not taken off in the
really?
States. Yeah. Like
Interesting.
just like a cheese a standard cheese option.
I mean, I'm such a fan of meat on a stick. Again, this is all stuff that can't exist anymore. But like when I'm in another country and people are like, here's some meat that we just cooked. Do you want to walk around with it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like my dad and I would go to, when we were at Disney World, there's a picture of us with like the giant turkey legs.
I love a turkey leg.
I fucking love a turkey leg.
I
I'll walk
love a
around with
turkey
a
leg.
turkey leg in my fucking face. Like, so
I'm
I'm,
a protein freak. So
yeah.
give
Also,
me that meat.
it is getting popular in the US, but there's this Japanese snack and it's called like, oh fuck me. It's called like takoyaki or something. It's these like little fried balls and then you put
Mm.
like wasabi mayo and shit on it and it's just good and it's like covered in seaweed and stuff and I'm like, "Oh, I could it's like fries
Yes.
or tater tots, but
Yes.
Japanese." And I'm like, A plus,
That
100%.
sounds delicious.
But we get
100%
really
would eat.
lucky in LA because we do have access to so many different kinds of snacks all over the world.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a hard one. Again, this is a very privileged position that we're speaking
Sure.
from. But I'm like, I feel like everybody eats snacks from the round. I feel like what's an American snack?
Potato
Like
chips,
chips, yeah, chips,
stuff with artificial colors.
fruit snacks. I love fruit
Actually, so
snacks.
before I decided Clubhouse sucks, I was on in a Clubhouse room debating Doritos, and then someone was telling me instead of having like calling it Cool Ranch, they call it American flavor. It's like American spice or some shit like
I
that.
love it.
I mean, I think it's so funny. I think I like the different flavors in different countries, but they're
Yeah,
bringing that now.
yeah, we're
But
getting
like they won't allow certain ingredients in other countries, which personally it's like, yeah, I get it, but I'm gonna eat Cheetos. I ate beef
yeah,
Takis on the last one, and guess what? They were very delicious.
yeah. I
So,
mean, they're
yeah.
good.
I know. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, we have to wrap up, even though it makes me so sad. You have an incredible childhood snack that you chose. It truly brought me back. Reminds me of why I drink Gatorade all the time.
Thank
Oh, good
you.
morning from the Netherlands. Oh
Oh,
no,
good
we're
morning.
just ending, but please come back next week because I need to hear about Netherlands snacks.
Yes.
Um, but Julia, tell us where we can find you online and I'll post it. I just interrupted you, but I'm just
No,
gonna do it anyway.
I hadn't even started talking. You're
I know,
fine.
and I just cut you off. I was like, Julia, answer this question anyway. Um, no, the podcast is now up on all where podcasts are, and you can watch it on YouTube, obviously, but you can like now like listen to it in the car. Anyway, so tell us where we
Hell
can
yeah.
find you. I know I'm so
You
excited.
you can find me at Julia Loken on all platforms. And you can also listen to my podcast, What's Your Sign, on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever podcasts are found. And you can also check us out on where am I?
Yeah,
Oh,
where
you
are
can,
you?
if you're interested in astrology, you definitely follow What's Your Sign too on all the socials. What's Your Sign podcast. I also offer astrology readings on Intro app.
She's
You can
so
ask
fucking
me.
good.
You can ask me a question on Hey Hero, another app that's a question based thing. And also check out, we just had this come out. If you are a television fan, you can check us out on Amazon Prime, YouTube. We're talking about the astrology of characters on the wilds, which
Great
is
show.
really fun. So we're all over, but at Julia Loken, everywhere you'll find these links too. And yeah.
Amazing. Please follow Julia. I'll post all of her socials when I upload it. You guys, thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thank
Thanks for
you.
listening. Tell your friends. I'm sponsored by no one, so I can still say whatever I want. And Julia, I love you.
I
I hope
love
to
you
see
too.
you
This was
soon.
so fun.
Guys, thanks for watching. I love you too. And everybody, have a good night.